Today we're spectating another match at 5:30 in the morning. So today we're going to be spectating Yoon XRQ. I don't know what kind of username that is. But she's currently fighting the boss right now. She has 3 kills, one of which is actually me, more or less because I let her kill me. But struggling, has the riot shield, shockwave, the nemesis, and the frenzy shotgun, and has to reload both her guns. I have my oatmeal. What flavor I got? I got apples and cinnamon oatmeal. So we're gonna be eating this while I spectate. Got the medallion. Shielding up. Not gonna finish the other guy. So today, I'm also spectating 0 builds versus builds. Normally I like to go in and spectate builds, because that's a game mode that I don't actually play, so it's more fun to watch. But I thought I'll spectate 0 builds today. Somebody in the comment section in one of my videos said, hey, let's do some 0 build spectating. So that's what I decided to do. And that got me thinking, like, what was I going to talk about throughout the video? Besides just watching this person get blown up and that they should probably move. And I got to thinking of how there's a lot of people that go out there and will say, like, if you play 0 builds, you're not good, or if you play builds, you're not good, or whatever, right? And I was like, hey, that could be a good topic right there. And I was like, okay, how do I want to, like, approach this? And holy crap, I'm glad that person died, though, because holy crap, that was boring to watch. 5 kills. We're now on DN 28, 526. As he goes over and grabs the loot of the guy he just killed, picks up a mythic nemesis, a legendary sniper. He's got the rare scar and the rare frenzy. And he drops the medallion. Interesting. But the first thing I'll say is I think regardless if you play builds or 0 builds, suggest that a player is better just because they're in a particular game mode is kind of, you can't really say that, because every player, no matter what game mode they play, is going to be different skill levels regardless, right? So you can't just sit here and suggest that all players in a particular game are going to be better. And I do think that if you're playing builds versus 0 builds, you are going to have different sets of challenges. With builds, you're going to be, of course, having to build. You have to learn to edit. You have to learn to maneuver quickly around. And I think that does take a certain level of skill. I'm not going to say it's easy by any stretch of the imagination, but it takes a different level of skill that people in 0 build, of course, well, one, they can't do it because they're in 0 build, so it doesn't allow them to build. But they don't have to learn to build, they don't have to learn to edit, they don't have to learn how to make different types of builds that last longer and don't just get shot down right away. Then they don't have the added protection of being out in the open when you're rotating in to zone and be able to put up a wall and protect them, right? They don't have that. They have to learn how to rotate in a safe manner by always being next to a building or a tree or something, because if they're out in the open, there's no way that they can start getting shot at and then they can just build up a wall and have a layer of that protection and start that gunfight. They have to find a way to improvise, and I think that does take a different mindset of how to rotate, where to rotate to, and they have to look a little bit more into the future because of it. And 0 builds, I think, can rely more on your gunfights because of that situation too. And sometimes I think that some of the players in 0 builds will actually have better gunfight skills, but I'm not saying all of them, right? You can't just make this a universal topic by any means. and he gets a kill. Oh my gosh. Has to reload. Sees the guy in the bush. The guy's jumping up and down, trying to reload his guns. The guy's also trying to get rid of the bot and doesn't get rid of the player and dies. Perfectly played there, actually. Another player coming in. He doesn't have much health. Has to reload his guns. Has no heals right now. Has to get his medkit pop. His medallion is giving him some shield. Top 10 situation. 6 kills. DN 28, 526. Currently 5:30 in the morning. Only 116,000 players were on this game when I got into this 0 build Fortnite match. Has to get out of there. Uses the bounce pad out. Goes the lavish layer. Overdrive coming back in. Maybe he can get around and get some shields too. It doesn't look like this was looted very hard. That'll be good for him. He does have the other medallion player coming close to him. Probably is going to try him. He keeps looking up at the island, and the guy's not on the island. The guy is like right underneath him. He doesn't even know it. There's no way he doesn't even know this, right? The guy's in the building. The guy's grappling up to the top, it sounds like. Crouches. This is part of what I'm saying though with like 0 builds versus builds. If you were in builds right now, you would be building walls and building the structure to protect yourself and maybe get a vantage point. Whereas here in 0 builds, he doesn't have that option. His option's either to shockwave out of there and reset the fight, or stay crouched or try this person. Like he has to use these walls, use the roof as his vantage point. And I think it's just a different mindset, right? That you have to have in builds versus 0 builds. And I don't necessarily think that one player can be better than the other, and that it can just be something that you go, well, all these players in this game mode are better because of X, Y, and Z. There's going to be different things that happen in each match that's going to differentiate players skill-wise. And that's why I say to suggest that all of one playlist is better is kind of, you're just kidding yourself at that point. And he's honestly going to lose that fight. He had the advantage on Ducks Quack 21 and actually ended up losing that. But Ducks Quack 21 does have a grapple, a riot shield, a mythic frenzy shotgun with the epic nemesis. So very good loadout here by Ducks Quack. 7 kills and does have a med kit to use. This is the only health that he currently has right now. We are in a top 10 situation, and he does have a chance to potentially get 10 full kills here. Here's gunfire. Come on, show me how to win this game. Show me that 0 build players are really not that bad. Okay, well, the player that he's going up against is pretty bad. But, and I will say, spectating at 5:30 in the morning, you definitely get some weird Fortnite players. Like, you can get some really bad ones, you can get some really good ones. I mean, that can go for any part of the day, but at 5:30 in the morning, you're usually getting just really random lobbies just because of how little amount of people are actually on. So you're just watching just a whole compile of people that are completely different in skill bracket. Versus like when a lot of people are on, the game can try to put an entire lobby together of everyone that's around the same skill level for the most part. Sees another player going under the bridge. Tries to heal up a little bit. Picks up the legendary sniper. Sees the player. Has a good point to be able to maybe potentially get that snipe off, but didn't. The player goes down in between the walls there and is in another gunfight. Good time to third party. Tries to get the snipe. Gets it. And gets another one back to back. Duck Quack 21 with 11 kills. Gets a med kit and has a chance to win this game now with 13 total kills. Is getting shot at Overdrive broken, shield at 50. But thanks to the medallions, he is able to get his shield back up. Knows he's going to get pushed. Has a chance to get the slurp there. Does take out. Just to break the floor, but I guess that would be me. Wants to save one extra one. Maybe that's the good play. By the way, I did finish my oatmeal. It was pretty good. Wish there was actually just a little bit more in there. Has to rotate the circle. Circle's kind of... Unless that other player is already in zone, as far as that player that just shot at him, he does have a good chance to get to circle. And see, right now for builds is a time that you would see a lot of players, of course, building and getting their structure ready for a really close gunfight. But in zero builds, you have to play with what you have, which is going to be bushes, rocks, trees. Very close to zone. Zone is helping out. Like, zone is actually in this player's favor. Like, Duck Squawk 21 is getting a little lucky here. Sees the players sniping. Both players know where they're at. Both took a shot at each other and missed. Has to aim a little bit higher. That other player's, I think, getting closer than Duck Squawk is to the other player. Not gonna try it. The other player's just staying scoped in, ready for the snipe. And this is, okay, the other player's moving, jumps into the water, and didn't stick the landing. So now it's a 1v1. I can't believe that happened. That was hilarious. All that snipe battle just to watch the player jump off the edge, miss the zip line, and die. In circle, but doesn't have the height advantage, and it pays the price for it, but has a chance. They both hit snipe shots. This player does have the medallion, though. Duck Squawk with the medallion is able to heal back up, and we can notice that this other player probably doesn't have a medallion because it's not showing up on the mini-map. 1v1. Can Duck Squawk win? The other player's giving up the height advantage, making it a level playing field, missing the snipe. Hitting the second snipe, though. Has a chance to win the game. Storm coming in, has to reload the gun, gets the riot shield out. Here we are in close battle. Can Duck Squawk win this game? Circle has to push them over, but it is in Duck Squawk's advantage still. This entire final circles is all in Duck Squawk's advantage. The other player just trying to run away is white, has to reload, and gets the win with 12 kills here in zero build solos Fortnite at 5:30 in the morning. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and comment down below what you would like to see next in a spectating video.